This one video will change the way you build websites. Have you learned HTML and CSS but still feel stuck when it comes to creating a modern, beautiful website? You get stuck with animations? This video is for you. I'll show you step by step how to build a clean, responsive website using HTML and CSS, perfect for beginners. You'll learn text animations, smooth hover effects, clickable thumbnails that expand beautifully, and layouts that work on every device. By the end, you'll know how to make your websites look professional on every device. Now, before starting the project, please go to GitHub and download the files such as app.js, GSAP.js, or bg.js. If you want to support my work, don't forget to give it a star. Create a new folder named Portfolio and open it. Inside the Portfolio folder, open VS Code and create an index.html file. In the title section, set our website title to Portfolio. Next, create a CSS folder, and inside it, add a style.css file for styling. Then, link the style.css file to the index.html file. Finally, run live server to preview the website. Creates a root container with class root to hold all content. Defines a navigation bar with classes navbar and hideNav, likely for hiding on scroll or mobile, though no JavaScript is provided. Inside, a nav container div contains a logo div displaying the text Portfolio. Creates an unordered list, navlinks, with 4 links for portfolio categories UI and UX, web developer, developer, and landing page. Adds a Start Now button inside a within the nav container, styled with class startBTN. Defines CSS variables for colors, e.g., text color for light blue, BG color for dark background, and a transition timing, transition, for consistency. Resets margins, padding, and box sizing for all elements, removes link underlines, text decoration, none, and list styles, list style, none. Styles selected text with a semi-transparent blue background, number 4 E59CE74. Sets the body's font to Roboto, background to --BG color, prevents horizontal scrolling overflow X hidden, and sets line height to 1.6. Styles the root position it absolutely at the top, div to span the full viewport width 100%, and set a minimum height of 98 vertical height. Styles the navbar, fixes it to the top, position fixed, with full width, left 0, right 0. Sets high Z index, 1000, to stay above content. Adds a blur effect, backdrop filter, blur 10 pixels, and a 1 pixel bottom border. Applies padding, 1 rem top bottom, 2 rem left right. Styles the nav container, uses flexbox, display, flex, to space children, logo, nav links, start BTN, evenly, justify content, space between, and center them vertically, align items, center. Limits width to 86% and centers it, margin, 0 auto. Styles the logo text with bold weight, 1.6 rem size, -- light purple color, and 1.5 pixel letter spacing. Styles the nav links list as a flex container with 3 rem spacing between links. Styles navigation links with text color, normal weight, 17 pixel size, 1 pixel letter spacing, and a 0.3 second transition for hover effects. Changes link color to text hover color, faded blue, on hover with a smooth transition. Styles the Start Now button with button BG background, text color, padding, rounded corners, 12 rem, and a transition for hover. On hover, changes the button's background to -- color and adds a glowing -- light purple shadow. Hides an element with class move - nav, likely for mobile navigation. Creates a main content container with class main container to hold the hero section. Adds a background image, hero.png, in a background person div, with an alt equals hero attribute for accessibility. Creates a left sidebar with 3 sidebar icon divs, each containing a remixicon, search, play, heart, for potential interactivity, e.g., search, play video, favorite. Go to Google and search for Remix Icon, then click on the official website, remixicon.com. Next, click the GitHub icon to open GitHub, scroll down, and copy the link. Finally, go to VS Code and paste the copied link inside the section of the index.html file. Defines a hero section with a hero title containing 6 elements with class line, each on a new line, via, to create a stacked title, the AI-powered modern landing page, interactive in 2025. Creates a right thumbnails container with 3 thumbnail divs, each with unique classes, click 1, click 2, click 3, and images, hero.png, hoodie.png, shut.png. The alt equals thumbnail images attribute is generic and should be more descriptive. Styles the main container. Uses relative positioning for child element stacking. Sets full viewport height, min height, 100% view height, and 90% width, centered, margin, auto. Centers children with flexbox, align items : center, semicolon justify content : center. Adds 80 pixels top padding to avoid navbar overlap. Styles the background person image. Centers it, top, 50%, left, 50%. Transform, translate -50%, -50%. Sets dimensions, 535 pixels wide, 728 pixels tall, low opacity, 0.23, and low z-index, 1. Applies a circular shape, border radius, 50%, and slight blur, filter, blur 1 pixel. Hides overflow. Styles the background image to be 35 rem wide, shifted upward by 6 rem with auto height. Styles the hero section. Uses relative positioning and z-index 2 to appear above the background image. Centers text, limits width to 550 pixels, adds padding, 2 rem left right, and 3 rem bottom margin. Styles elements in the hero title as inline block with hidden vertical overflow, likely for animation purposes. Styles the hero title with JetBrains mono font. JetBrains mono font. .5 rem size, medium weight. Tight letter and word spacing, and text color. Styles the left sidebar. Fixes it 9.5 rem from the left and 52% from the top. Sets high z-index, 100, to stay above content. Uses vertical flexbox with 2.5 rem spacing. Styles sidebar icon divs. Sets 52 pixel square dimensions, dash button background, and rounded corners. Centers icons with flexbox, adds cursor interactivity, and a transition. Uses text color and 25 pixel icon size. On hover, changes the icon background to -BG color, adds a glowing shadow, and scales up by 10%. Styles the right thumbnails. Fixes it 9.5 rem from the right and 40% from the top. Sets high z-index, 100, and uses vertical flexbox with 2.5 rem spacing. Styles thumbnail divs, sets 110 pixels wide, 105 pixels tall, with rounded corners and a gradient background. Adds cursor interactivity, transition, and hidden overflow. On hover, scales thumbnails up by 10% and adds a glowing, light purple shadow. Applies a gradient background to each thumbnail using double-button BG, though the syntax var, double-button BG, 7C3 AEDDF is unusual, likely intending 7C3 AEDDF as a fallback. Styles thumbnail images. Shifts upward by 1 rem, sets 8 rem width, auto height. Uses object fit. Contain to preserve aspect ratio and object position. Top to focus on the top. The CSS creates a dark, futuristic theme with a fixed, blurred nav bar, a centered hero title, a faded background image, and interactive sidebar icons and thumbnails with hover effects. Now, let's create a responsive.css file inside the CSS folder. Then, link the responsive.css file to the index.html file. The responsive.css file uses media queries to adapt the website for screens up to 1400 pixels, 930 pixels, and 500 pixels, ensuring a seamless experience on tablets and mobiles. Increases the nav container width to 98% from 86% to utilize more screen space on slightly smaller desktops. Moves the left sidebar closer to the left edge, 4 rem from 9.5 rem, to fit narrower screens. Moves the right thumbnails closer to the right edge, 4 rem from 9.5 rem, for balance. Sets a fixed height of 62 rem for the root container and prevents horizontal scrolling to manage content on tablet-sized screens. Hides the navbar with class hideNav to switch to a mobile navigation layout. Duplicate the navigation and change the class name from .navHide to .mobNav. A menu icon, RI menu 3 fill, class menu, to open the mobile menu. A close icon, RI close line, class close, to close the menu. A mobNav div with a nav links list, same links as desktop. And a Start Now button, Start BTN move Start BTN. Shows an element with class mobNav enabling mobile navigation. Styles the mobile nav positions it absolutely, full width, and 90 VH tall, starting 5 rem from the top. Initially hides it off screen, right, negative 100%, suggesting a slide-in menu. Adds a semi-transparent top border and dark background, #440412. Centers text for menu items. Change the class name from .mob-nav to .mobile-nav. Styles icons in nav container with double dash light purple color, 1.8 rem size, and clickable cursor. Hides an element with class close. Changes nav links to a vertical layout, flex direction, column. Adds 2 rem top margin, sets 16 rem height, and reduces gap to 2.2 rem from 3 rem for mobile menu spacing. Increases hero section bottom margin to 10 rem from 3 rem and shifts it 4 rem left for better positioning. Reduces hero title font size to 3 rem from 4.5 rem. Sets width and maintains line height for readability. Changes left sidebar to relative positioning, no longer fixed. Horizontal layout, flex direction : row. Positioned 14 rem from the top and 23 rem from the left. Changes right thumbnails to relative positioning, horizontal layout, flex direction : row. Reduces gap to 1.5 rem from 2.5 rem. Positions 22 rem from the top and 20 rem from the right, placing it below the sidebar. Further reduces right thumbnails gap to 1 rem and adjusts right positioning to 19 rem for mobile screens. Shrinks thumbnails to 90 pixels wide and 85 pixels tall from 110 pixels and 105 pixels for smaller screens. Reduces thumbnail image width to 80 pixels from 8 rem, approximately 128 pixels, to fit smaller thumbnails. Shifts hero section to 2 rem left from 4 rem for better alignment. Adjusts left sidebar to 20 rem left from 23 rem to center it on small screens. This query fine-tunes the layout for mobile phones, further reducing thumbnail sizes and adjusting positions for compact screens. Remember one thing: I have already written the JavaScript code, GSAP animation code, and background dynamic canvas code. You don't need to write. Link in the description of GitHub. Just go to GitHub and download all the source files and images. It's free. In style.css, rename the class .moveNav to .mobNav. In style.css, change max width : 550 pixels to max width : 570 pixels. In responsive.css, add I to the .nav container class. In index.html, add a class to the tag. Class equals hero-img. This ensures thumbnails work properly when clicked. In responsive.css, change the width from 19 rem to 21 rem. The bg.js script generates an animated particle background on the canvas where particles move, bounce, shrink, and connect with faint lines to create a web-like interactive effect, while the canvas dynamically resizes for responsiveness. The GSAP.js script uses GSAP to animate the portfolio's UI by adding smooth transitions to the navigation menu, logo, links, hero text, thumbnails, and sidebars. If you are interested in this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe for upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.